And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him. And he went forth, conquering and to conquer.
So Trump has been called a rider on a white horse, a hero on a white horse. He has depicted himself on a white horse in the NFTs that he sells. He depicts himself all over social media with a crown. And now he's received 2 crowns in real life. Most recently, one that was a replica of a crown that came from a tomb named after a painting of a white horse. The amount of parallels Trump has to this scripture of Revelation 6:2 is stunning. And the irony isn't lost on me that he's receiving this crown just weeks after the second No Kings protest in the US, which drew over 7 million Americans from all over the political spectrum to go out and voice their thoughts that Trump is overstepping his authority and acting like a king. People on Trump's side on social media are already pointing this out and believe the South Korean president was trolling the protesters. I actually think that name for these protests, No Kings, is pretty prophetic. If we look at Daniel 11:21, it says, "And in his estate shall stand up a vile person, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom, but he shall come in peaceably and obtain the kingdom by flatteries."
If anyone wanted to doubt that Donald Trump is the guy, but then saw this, to whom they, who's they? The rest of the world, the other citizens who don't approve of him, people from other countries who do not accept that he wants to be a king. This prophecy is happening countless times in front of all of us. You can see it, I can see it, the whole world saw it. When we had the No Kings March just a few days ago, there were hundreds and hundreds of these marches that took place all around the world. And the reason for the march was to tell Donald Trump, we are not going to give you the honor of royalty. Fulfilling this verse right here.
And now these protests taking place against Trump are literally called No Kings. And meanwhile, during and right after the protests, Trump was posting AI videos of himself as a king, and one which was especially prophetic. In the first one, it was originally posted by JD Vance, shows Trump putting on a crown, yet again with the crown imagery, putting on a royal robe and drawing a sword. And then the camera pans to the Democrats who are bending the knee and kneeling to him. Avenged Sevenfold's Held to the King is playing in the background.
Oh, come on, Nathan. He's just having fun. Really? Having fun to have other humans bow down to you? How many people in their right mind would ever post something like this? Even non-Christians. How many non-Christians who don't go to church would even think to put a video of others bowing to them? Very, very few would do that. Even non-Christians know this. You don't do this. But let's take it a step further. How many people who go to church would post something like this? If you follow MAGA, would you do this? If you followed MAGA, would you be okay with your kids doing this? If you saw that your spouse was doing this, would you be okay with it? If you saw that your pastor did this, would you be okay with it? Your child's teacher? Their coach? How about your boss? How about your doctor? How about the policeman? Or the judge? Or anyone? We can do this all day, folks. But one thing is certain. The majority of normal, sane people understand that doing something like this is forbidden. It's just wrong. But Trump does it, and MAGA defends it. When I was in Truth Social, I looked at the comments, and over, the Antichrist worship was evidence. And it was coming from people who claim to be Christians and follow Jesus. How amazing is it, ladies and gentlemen? We are watching end-time Bible prophecy unfold before our eyes, and the church doesn't see it.
Then the other one he posted struck me as especially prophetic. We see Trump in a fighter jet labeled King Trump, and he's wearing a crown, and he flies over to a city where the No Kings protests are going on and dumps feces over the protesters. It is absolutely disgusting and vile, and I can't think of any other president displaying such contempt for roughly half of the population that he serves.
That video was forwarded by Donald Trump himself on his Truth Social website. He posted it, and then, of course, all his minions chimed in and agreed that it was a good thing to drop diarrhea on individuals that Jesus told us we're supposed to love. But for some reason, it doesn't matter when it comes to the antics of the Antichrist, because the Antichrist is very good at showing his darkness and his evil and his vile behavior that becomes contagious and is passed on and transferred to his minions. But aside from that video being disgusting, it also fulfills Bible prophecy about Donald Trump, because it shows that he's vile. The book of Daniel tells us that he would be vile. In Daniel 11:21, it says, "In his place shall arise a vile, despised person to whom they will not give the honor of royalty." And by the way, those are two prophecies that are mentioned. It says that the little horn would be vile, disgusting, and here we go. Trump is vile and disgusting. There's no other way to spin this. And if someone tries to say he's just making jokes, he's just having fun, it's satire, etc., etc., folks, that does not erase how disgusting it is and how vile it is. And it also does not nullify that it fulfills Bible prophecy, that he is acting vile.
The video even features a specific social media influencer, Harry Sisson, literally calling out the Americans he'd like to dump feces on. So in this video we see yet again more crowns Trump has connected himself to, but we also see multiple aspects of Daniel 11:21 shown in the video. Just like how the crown Trump received yesterday was also connected to a white horse, this video not only features people not giving him the honor of kingdom, but it also shows his vile behavior. It is disgusting. It is gross. I don't care if it's funny or trolling. The reality is, it is gross. Even if you want to say it's a joke, it is a vile joke. And that is the Bible being fulfilled. That is Daniel 11:21 being shown in this video. The people are not giving him the honor of kingdom, and he stands up as a vile person who would post something like this.
For a grown man who's pushing 80 years old, who has lived his life and should have learned what proper decency is, to behave in the manner that Trump behaves in, as a schoolyard, vile carcass of evil, Donald Trump behaves like a clown. And yet the church laughs at it and giggles at it and doesn't realize that they are holding hands with the Joker from hell.
Imagine your boss posted something like this. Imagine your father posted something like this. Imagine your son posted something like this. Imagine if Biden posted something like this. No one would do it because we all know it is vile. We all know it is something you shouldn't do. But yet when Trump does it, this was celebrated. It's just shocking to see. And to see how many times Trump exalts himself to a king in his post or in the public or receives a crown, it's no wonder, even outside of his acting with unchecked power, that people are saying this is something you shouldn't do, and protesters are saying no kings. Like Daniel 11:21 said, they do not want to give him the honor of the kingdom. They do not want to give him royal majesty.
I'm astounded at how asleep the church is right now. Not warning the saints, not preparing the remnant, not issuing a cry of all hands on deck or battle stations. There's no cry of alert. There is no cry that tells the people in the flock of God and the sheep of God to let them know that the heavens are rumbling, that the earth is shaking. I'm astounded that the people who at one time I admired, other preachers, other ministers, other ministries, they're sleepwalking and they're dragging the church along behind them like a boat anchor. Meanwhile, they have no clue that an underworld army has assembled and only has one goal: to crush, kill, and destroy the saints of God and the faith of the saints of God and the testimony of the saints of God. If you're a pastor, it's on you, my friend. The devil is after the folks in your church, and according to the scriptures, many of them are not going to make it. Why? Because the great delusion is here. It's here, folks. It's the dark blob that swallows victims whole, and the church is choosing deception. Church folks aren't being told. The people attending church every Sunday are not being told that we're in the days of threshing, of testing, of temptation to follow the beast and the man of sin. They're not being told. They're not being told that the beast is here and the church is giving it a great big bear hug. And I'm astounded at this. I'm astounded at the blindness, and I'm terrified of where it's headed. Because already it's dark, but folks, it's going to get so much darker. Because the man of sin is here, the man from below, the swamp creature that rose up from the pit has risen, and the church is kissing his scales. And they giggle as he flicks his tongue and drops diarrhea on those who are against him. I'm astounded at this, folks. I'm astounded that he's fulfilling so many prophecies right now and not a peep from the preachers. Not a peep. Why are the preachers out there ignoring it? There's a number of reasons. One of the biggest ones is because of cowardice, because of fear, because of peer pressure, because they're afraid to lose people attending the church, which then throws them into the category of a hireling instead of a shepherd. But I wonder, my friends, I wonder, where are the brave shepherds? Where are the brave pastors? Where are the courageous ones? Where are those who have the courage to condemn what's happening right now? Where are they? Well, apparently they're MIA. Actually, excuse me, correction, not MIA, more like MWS, missing while snoozing. My preacher friends, wake up. I know that some of you guys are resisting this message because in your mind and in the knowledge that you were taught when you went to Bible college, you were told that the Antichrist won't appear until after or the rapture comes first and all that mess. None of that is true. And we have proven that on these programs. We have looked into the scripture and found the actual truth. We are scheduled to be here during this time, which means it's your job to lead the flock and not let them be taken over by the wolf.